Coming up right now on SUTV News, an armed robbery off campus has a few leads.
And SHIP students can let their voice be heard.
It's all right now. Hello and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Holly Hare.
And I'm Emily Larson.
Students' phones were buzzing with SU alerts Monday night after an armed robbery on 4th Street. SUTV's Tyler Baldwin has the latest details on the incident.
Shippensburg police are still investigating a robbery that occurred at this house you see behind me late Monday night. They know that a baseball bat and handgun were used, but the motives of the suspects is still unclear.
According to Borough Police, 2 men entered the home on 4th Street where a female suspect said she needed help. When the suspects tried to flee, a struggle ensued in the yard with the victims and a gun was fired. Alyssa Skalski was on the phone with her roommate at the time when the scene unfolded.
And she was driving past the house and saw some wrestling going on in the front yard. And she saw that someone was hitting the pit bulls with what looked to be like a baseball bat. So she kept driving past the house. She wasn't sure what was going on. And she saw someone take off and run up the street to the left. And by the time she was even up towards the stop sign, she heard a gunshot go off.
The suspects fled up a side alley alongside the house before police arrived. 2 victims were transported to the hospital and later released. For students like Alyssa, incidents like these are becoming frighteningly frequent.
This isn't the first time that we've had SU alerts about this kind of stuff going on. It's scary, knowing especially that it's 10 feet outside our house. But I mean, the police seem like they're pretty on top of when they have calls and stuff. So it's nice to know that the police are on top of it, but I hope that they catch the people.
For SUTV News, I'm Tyler Baldwin.
Official told Tyler earlier today that a person of interest in the case has been brought in for questioning. Anyone with information regarding the robbery is asked to contact Shippensburg Borough Police at 717-238-9676. Millersville and Shippensburg University Master of Social Work graduates have passed the exam to become licensed social workers in PA. These grads have passed the exam at a rate much higher than the national average. Between 2010 and 2013, 70 SHIP graduates who took the exam for the first time had a passing rate of 91% and an overall average of 81 to 100%. Not too shabby considering the national average for the same time frame was 81% with a range of 74 to 84. The licensing exam for Millersville and Shippensburg MSW program is standardized throughout the U.S. SHIP's social work department is very proud of the success of its graduates.
Starting next school year, Shippensburg University will have a permanent president. Interim President Jody Harpster, along with Dr. Kenneth Hawkinson and Dr. Carol Bresnahan, are the 3 candidates being considered for the position. The candidates will be on campus next week for an interview that is open to students. A complete interview schedule can be found at ship.edu/presidential_search. Students can also send a letter of recommendation in favor of a candidate to be read by the Presidential Search Committee. Letters can be sent to Brian Buston, RPA Incorporated, at 2895 South Reach Road, Williamsport, PA, 17701. Coming up on SUTV News, Finals Week is upon us. Find out how you can relieve some stress.
And learn how to get your fast food even faster. It's coming up next.
With finals just around the corner, many students are busy studying and don't have the time to cook a meal. With a new app on the market, technology allows making a fast food run even faster. Customers can pre-order their favorites from restaurants like Sheetz, Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, and Domino's. The app lets you customize your order and pay for it using a gift card or a credit card. The app also uses GPS technology to find a restaurant near you. Once you start driving, the app then alerts the restaurant to start making your meal. The app currently does not work at the Shippensburg Taco Bell. The University Counseling Center, along with the Learning Center, are holding stress relief events and giving students tips on how to de-stress. To kick off the stress relief events, today students attended a tea and chocolate tasting. On Monday, December 8th from 3 to 4 p.m., students can visit Cuddly Puppies in Cub Room 100 for some fur therapy. Then on Tuesday, December 9th from 11 to 4, students can make a stress ball or homemade aromatherapy lotion. Finals week can be stressful, but remember to relax, study, and get a good night's sleep.
From riots and national outcry about Ferguson to a car chase ending in coffee, John Schaefer is here to bring you this week's world news.
Thanks, guys. Here's a look at this week's news from around the world. The results of the actions from those in Ferguson have led to the nationwide protests spread all over the nation, with people on both sides of the issue and even those going so far as to protest against their side of the matter. President Obama initiated an executive order to track weapons and gear the federal government sends to police across the nation. The government has voiced concerns over police officers and citizens and the relationship between the two. The White House has stated that the president does not have any plans to travel to Ferguson at this time concerning the riots and destruction, but is open to it if the need arises. Now, if you find yourself touring to Japan anytime soon, you may be asked to help clean up the site of a nuclear disaster. 4 years ago, a nuclear meltdown destroyed the city of Fukushima, Japan, and now tourists are helping to clean it up. At first, many questioned if it was safe to even enter the city, but the Japanese government says the radiation levels are low. Although the site of a natural disaster, tourists are interested in seeing the abandoned city and helping to restore it to the way it used to be. A high-speed car chase in Houston this week has left a man dead. Police say a 20-year-old man had just robbed a local GameStop at gunpoint when he fled the scene being chased by police. The high-speed chase went on for only a brief moment. That's when the man swerved into a local Starbucks, killing himself on impact. After further investigation, the gun in question was only a BB gun, but police also found the item stolen from the game store in the man's car. Nobody else in the Starbucks was injured, thankfully. Police are looking into this robbery further. Well, that's all for your world news this week. Let's send it back to the desk.
Don't go away. Still to come on SUTV News, Hunter Wolf tells us what to expect for the morning commute.
And I'm Larson, Emily Larson. Alexis Hilliard brings us the latest on the new James Bond film, so stay tuned. So what does Mother Nature have for us this weekend?
You know, I was talking with Hunter a little bit earlier, and I think he mentioned something about snow.
I don't like hearing that.
No.
Let's see if he has any good news for us. Hunter?
What a week. Rain, hail, sunshine. The weather doesn't seem to want to make up its mind. Today was mostly cloudy, and tonight you can expect a little mix of rain and sleet. Temperatures are going to be dropping down to the low 30s, so be on the lookout for ice in the morning. There's snow weather like snow weather. That's right. Tomorrow we're looking at a high chance of snow during the day with a high of about 39 degrees. That wintry mix is going to turn into rain by the evening, and there will be a low of 38. That rain is going to stick around throughout Saturday. There's going to be a high of 48 during the day, so it's going to warm up a little bit, and the evening is going to drop back down to 31 degrees. On Sunday, though, we're going to see a bit of a turnaround. Skies should be mostly sunny, and the high is going to creep back down to low 40s. Sunday night is going to be partly cloudy. Clouds are going to roll back in, and the temperature is going to slip into the high 20s. Monday will be a great start to the work week. It's going to be partly sunny during the day with a high of 40, and the low is going to be sticking around 32 throughout the night. Tuesday will be mostly cloudy with a high near 43, and Tuesday night is going to have a low of 29. Looks like the forecast is going to be keeping us on our toes for the next few days. Information about the next James Bond film has been announced. Alexis Hilliard has the story.
That sure is right, Hunter. There is snow weather like snow weather. The Shippensburg University Marching Band will perform in Ireland to bring in the new year. This is the band's first international tour, according to director Trevor Fermulare. During their tour of Ireland, the 86-person band will perform in Dublin's third annual procession of lights on New Year's Eve. Christmas at the Castle is coming to the Little Princess Playhouse on campus, December 6th at 10 and 11 a.m. The performances are in Stewart Hall and will feature Let It Go characters from Disney's Frozen, among other performances for young princesses. Tickets are still available at the door and seating is limited. For more information, call 1638. Speaking of Disney, if you enjoy listening to Christmas music year-round, you may be excited to hear that Disney has released a very new and special version of Jingle Bells. They're calling it the Ultimate Disney Movie Mashup. This version of Jingle Bells includes 45 different movie characters, each singing one word at a time. The mashup is sure to leave you in the Christmas spirit. 007 is heading back to the big screen. Today, director Sam Mendes announced the next film will be Spectre. Fans will recognize the name from early Bond movies as villainous organization Bond, encountered a number of times throughout the 60s and 70s. Daniel Craig is returning as super spy James Bond. New to the cast includes Guardians of the Galaxy's David Bautista playing Mr. Hanks. Monica Bellucci and Lee Seydoux will be sensational Bond girls. Christoph Waltz is also joining this cast on one of the Bond's many adversaries. Another featured cast member is the new Aston Martin DB10. Filming is set to begin on December 8th, and more information on the film will be available in the coming months. Spectre will be released on November 6th of 2015. You don't need their love, but you do need their respect. Can you guess what TV series this applies to? If you said The Walking Dead, then you hit it right on the head. Although The Walking Dead is on winter break, AMC confirmed that Cliff Curtis will top-line the drama after it returns back from its break. They haven't released many details on the role of the character, but Curtis is likely to play the role of a good man, according to E! News. Well, sorry to say, but that is all we have in entertainment today. Holly and Emily?
Stick around to find out which Raiders took home honors this week.
And Chris Eckstein joins us after the break with the latest ship scores. Don't go away.
Seven recruits have signed national letters of intent for the track and field and cross country 2015-16 season. Coach Dave Osantish confirmed. The only male recruit is a hurdler. The 6 women include a PA state champion triple jumper. Trevor Harmon was named to the 2014 All-Super Region 1 First Team. He is the only offensive player to repeat from last season. Harmon broke ship records in receiving yards, receptions, and points scored. He now advances to the All-American ballot. Vicky Tumaz was named the PSAC East Women's Basketball Freshman of the Week for the second time in 3 weeks. Tumaz played the second most minutes for any Raider in 3 games last week, despite not starting. She's averaging 16.3 points per game with a 57.7 shot percentage. And now let's see highlights from Vicky and her teammates last night against East Stroudsburg. Bernadette Koff has more.
Pocono Classic, Ship looked to keep their 3-game winning streak going against East Stroudsburg Wednesday night. Ship scored first with a layup from Logan Snyder. However, the Warriors answered quickly with a layup from Jessica Martin. Tight defense from both teams kept the game close, ending the first half with a Ship lead of only 1 point. The second half played out similarly until 5 minutes remained when Ship began to increase their lead. Foul shots became an important factor, accounting for 27 of Ship's points. Ship defeated East Stroudsburg with a final score of 61-53.
The team moves to 5-2 on the season. The Raiders take on Westchester on Saturday at 1. And now let's get you up to date on the latest scores from all Ship teams. It's been a while since our last broadcast. Wrestling is 0-5 so far on the fall season. Women's swimming is 3-2 so far this season. The team heads to Ithaca tomorrow for the Bomber Invitational. The men are 1-3 and are also heading to Ithaca tomorrow. Field hockey fell 2-1 in double overtime against that rival, Millersville, in the NCAA quarterfinals. They, of course, will not be repeating as national champs. Both cross-country teams are headed to Louisville, Kentucky this weekend for nationals. And men's basketball, who lost last night, is 4-2 on the season. The Raiders will face Westchester like the women on Saturday. And now that you're up to date, I'm late for a very important date, so I'll be sending it back to Emily and Holly at the desk to bring us home. I'll see you next week.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Holly Hare.
And I'm Emily Larson. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SUTV News and like our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.